Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we talk relics, an extremely important part of Warframe itself and how you gain access to some of the most powerful frames and gear. So get ready, for today, we reveal treasures lost to time. Alright boys, who's ready to learn about relics? We're going to go over pretty much every aspect of relics, where to get, how to use and upgrade, and how to target farm pieces with a team of 10-0 to heighten your chances of coming out with the item you wanted. But real quick, before we start heading into this thing, I just want to thank everyone once again, as the channel is doing absolutely nuts the last few weeks. Just a month ago the channel had less than 100 subs, and now we're closing in on 1,000 faster than I could have imagined. Thanks so much guys. And also, make sure you leave your in-game name if you're interested in joining my clan on PC. Anyone's welcome. Thanks. Alright, let's go ahead and get to talking relics now, starting with what exactly relics are. There are two types of relics. Void relics, which are ancient Orican objects that contain pieces of prime weapons and frames, along with being the way you obtain forma blueprints. There is also a separate type of relic known as a Requiem relic that contains Requiem mods for defeating your liches and sisters, Kuva, Weapon Exilus adapter blueprints, and Riven slivers. Void relics have 4 subset relic types that are used for different Fisher missions. These are known as Lith, Meso, Neo, and Axii relics. These relics Fisher missions scale in level, Lith Fishers having the lowest level base missions, and Axii having the highest within the Void relics. Although, Requiem relics are much higher level than Axii, and as well as the subsets, each relic has its own designation, such as Axii G5 or Neo S15. Requiems are designated by a Roman numeral, such as II or IV, which would be 2 and 4 for those who don't know. Each designation contains different rewards inside, each relic having 6 items within. 3 bronze tier items, ones with a 50 to 76% chance of dropping depending on the relic tier, which is something we will get into later. 2 silver tier items with a 22 to 40% chance of dropping depending on tier, and finally the 1 gold tier item, the rarest to obtain, with a 2 to 10% chance of dropping depending on the relic tier. How do you go about getting your hands on these beauties? Well, let me tell ya. First, I'll show you a list of the attainable relics at the moment, as some are vaulted and cycled in and out of rotation over time. Let's start with the best missions, according to the wiki, for getting each type, starting with Lith Era Relic. The first mission is a quick one if you're looking to speed farm. This location is found in the Void. It's called Hepit and it's a capture mission, so it should be a breeze for most to farm. The next location to farm is a defense mission on Deimos known as Hyph. The reason you might want to do a longer mission like a defense is after 25 rounds, or say 25 minutes in survival, you'll begin to obtain a relic every rotation that starts at base refinement. But after round 50, the base refinement will eventually go up to base radiant refinement as long as you are in the mission long enough. So sometimes that can be worth it to stay in the mission longer so you get the better relics. This goes the same for our next and our final farm mission that I'll recommend for Lith relics. This being Olympus on Mars, a disruption mission, and my personal favorite type of endless game mode. So if you want to do a long run, those two are good options. You want a quick run, do the capture mission. For going out and farming Meso relics, you'll want to once again visit the Void for another capture mission known as Ukko. The reason is ditto the Lith relics reason, speed farming. The next mission is located on Jupiter and is called Io. This is a defense mission and is also an excellent mission for getting a bunch of Oxium if you're in need of that. The last mission I'll recommend for getting some Meso relics is once again that same disruption mission mentioned previously on Mars, Olympus. For Neo relics now, you'll once again head to the Ukko capture in the Void. After that, another Void mission that's good for it is a sabotage mission called Marduk. And finally, to get your hands on some Neo relics, the mission Ur on Uranus is great. And it is also a dark sector node, so you get extra shit, which is always helpful. The final type of relic is the Axii relic, these being the highest end relics. To start mission node wise, that previous sabotage I named earlier, Marduk, is also used for getting your greasy fingers on these Axies. Another good mission if you like interception for some reason, I avoid it at all costs, is Xeni on Eris, but again, It's interception, and I can't be the only one out there that doesn't like that game type, right? Right, guys? Please, right, guys?
Why you booing me? I'm right.
Alright, let's go to the third node that you can get some axes from. This being Apollo on Lua, another disruption mission, so way more fun in my opinion. All void relic types can also be obtained from rounds of Sanctuary Onslaught, and not only that, but in Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, the relics obtained are automatically radiant. This is a great way for new relic hunters to get their hands on some good relics right off the bat. To unlock Elite Sanctuary Onslaught and Sanctuary Onslaught, you have to complete the new Strange quest. Requiem relics can be obtained from Kuva siphons and floods found in the alerts section in navigation. But keep in mind, you can only get the Requiem relic once from an alert each, so you can't replay the same Kuva flood or siphon. The other way to obtain these relics is having a small chance to get them from your Kuva's thralls and whatever the sister's little dogs are called when you finish them off while hunting your Licher sister. There is also another way to obtain void relics as well, and even some, let's say, quote, semi-vaulted, unquote, ones. At that, it's kinda like that. So basically you visit Barrow and you spend some ducats on these relics he brings. He just has a chance for these relics to have some stuff in them. They're like specialty relics, and they might have some stuff in them that's vaulted. As well as him, you can also buy a relic pack from Teshin for 15 steel essence each, and these relic packs can also be bought from your chosen syndicate for 20,000 affinity each. Every relic pack contains 3 random relics. Okay, so Tenno, you got yourself some relics. I want you to head to the right of your equipment area, walking down from navigation, and there should be a relic object you can interact with. This is how you view all of your relics and what's inside them most easily, as well as being the place where you go about upgrading your relics tier to get the best chance at the item you desire. So, let's get into upgrading relics and everything that entails. There are 4 distinct tiers of relics spread across all types, including Requiem ones, and these are as follows, starting with the lowest tier: Intact, Exceptional, Flawless, and Radiant. To upgrade them will require an item called Void Traces. These are obtained within the Fisher mission. It will cost 25 to upgrade for Exceptional, 50 for Flawless, and 100 for Radiant. Now let's get something out of the way right now. You do not want to upgrade all of your relics to max every time. I'm going to tell you the best way to go about the upgrading process. If you are hunting a bronze tier item in your relic, then your highest chance of getting that item is when your relic is intact, as this chance decreases when you upgrade your relic, so keep it at base level if you're hunting that bronze item. If you're hunting a gold tier item, then you want to upgrade your relic to Radiant every time, as the chance for those drops only increases to its max as the relic is upgraded to max. I will show a chart on screen of the exact rates of each tier so you can see for yourself. The number here on the left is the overall drop chance of each rarity. The number in the parentheses next to it is that individual item drop chance within that rarity. If you are hunting something very specific and want to increase your chances even more than upgrading it to Radiant, you do something in Warframe known as a RADSHARE. And this is where you'll type in chat and say, LF blank, how many people you're looking for a group, RADSHARE, and then your relic and its designation. An example of this is if I'm hunting the Zephyr Prime systems and have only 1 Radiant relic of it, and I want to make my chances better, I will type in LF3, as I'm looking for 3 teammates that also have the Radiant relic, so LF3, RADSHARE, Neo Z8, as that is the relic that contains the systems. And now you just wait for some DMs of people wanting to up their luck too. I'll once again show a chart of the numbers you're looking at chance-wise if you decide to go about the RADSHARE method. As well as this, I'll show you the specific rate differentiations when your group is using different tiered relics, just in case you felt like knowing. Alright, we're finally here. How to open the damn things. You got your relic, you might have some traces. If you've opened a few before this, you might have upgraded your relic if you want, or maybe you don't have any traces yet, which is fine, as you will get them very easily once you start running relic missions. You're ready to go either way. Head up into the relic section in the top right of navigation, and here you can see all the current mission nodes that have a Fisher variant. These missions will rotate consistently throughout the day, so if you don't see a mission you feel like playing, there will usually be a couple mission variants for each type of relic though, so it's usually not a problem. So let's go with a scenario where you have a Lith relic. Pick the Lith mission you want, and I recommend never doing Fishers alone, as you'll be able to choose your teammates' rewards if you want at the end as well. And after clicking that mission, next it will pop up with a screen similar to where you viewed your relics in your ship. Click the relic you want and then click confirm. In infinite mission types, you'll be prompted with this selection screen every rotation. After that, you'll be sent down into your mission to shred enemies just like normal. But there's a catch. Just running this mission, it won't open your relic. In the top left near your mission objective, there'll be a counter that will start at 0 out of 10. This is the number of an item called reactant that you have to collect throughout the mission to break open that bad boy. The reactant will drop from enemies that are known as the corrupted and are seen as affected by the fissure. Once you reach that 10 reactant, you'll be granted a corruption buff to one piece of your gear. Corrupted Warframes receive a 2x multiplier to ability strength and range. Primary and secondary weapons afflicted will get unlimited ammo. And finally, your melee will no longer reduce combo counter when performing heavy attacks. To know what buff you received, just look at your gear, as the corrupted thing will be spouting lightning and have a cool corruption texture effect. Once you and your team have all reached the 10 reactants needed to break open your relic, head to extraction, or in infinite mission cases, just wait a few seconds after rotation is over, and you'll be prompted with a screen containing the relics of everyone on your team who got to the 10 reactants. You now have the choice of any of these items, so go ahead and pick whatever you like. As well as this, if someone chooses your item, you'll be granted a bonus of 5 void traces per person. A small tip for the newer people: if you and your teammate both opened a relic leading to the same item, don't just pick yours because that's easier. Pick each other's duplicate item, as you'll both receive those bonus traces without having to sacrifice the piece you wanted. Well, I believe that's it, ladies and gents. Thanks so much for watching, and once again, thank you everybody for your support on the recent videos. If you enjoyed and want to see more videos like this, leave a like, or maybe even a comment. I'd love to see some comments on things people might want guides for. I want to give the people what they want. Finally, of course, subscribing is the best way to keep up with these videos if you're liking them. So, maybe do that too. Good night, everyone.